Spartan music.
$500,000. And pretty boy, and the big winner today, Patrik Antonius.
What a good time he had. And then about half an hour later, he was broke. We never saw him again.
And there it is, Phil Ivey in the cutoff seat with the hooks.
2,000.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And there's a couple of hands behind him.
Cool.
Race to 2, call of 2. And here comes Brian. Looks like a deep reach. And then a change of plan. He calls with the 8s.
No, it's not a good
Gives
play.
me that tingly feeling inside when these three players play a pot.
Well, would have got her more stuck. Well, I mean, he's going to wait for her to use the bathroom and sneak some money under the table.
What a flop.
Oh, wow, this is it. What a flop here. We've got ace, ace, jack board here. Ivey has flopped, bottoms full, and Patrik Antonius has flopped trip aces. And both these players are very deep. Each player has over $400,000.
When I moved to Vegas in '93, the big game was
The
like
pot is only $12,000.
I'm willing to bet it's going to go up at some point in this hand.
That was the biggest game.
Probably a
and
good
the
assumption.
Chip came down for that game. And then it was a big deal when we kind of kicked it up to 8 and 16, and that was kind of the regular game.
15.
Patrik Antonius re-raises, puts it to 15,000.
You know, obviously, Patrik Antonius cannot beat ace king, ace queen, or ace jack.
We're like the pros and the
Little does he know that Ivey's got
together on a regular
pocket
basis. They're
jacks.
always gonna be,
And the pot is $27,000. And Ivey's, his eyes are just lighting up here. Just trying to figure out, how do I maneuver this pot to make as much as I possibly can?
But I mean, you know, they used to
50
play.
total.
They were playing like 1-200.
And he is going to re-raise right away. He makes it 50 total.
He was just trying to launder money. Tipping
Phil
weight.
Ivey not going to wait
I heard he
to
was
build
doing
this
that.
pot up. Patrik Antonius does have some outs here. He can catch an ace or a 10. And he is going to call this. And look at this. This
I
pot
heard conflicting Antonio and then the,
is already $107,000.
you don't know.
The turn is the 5 of diamonds.
That's a great card for Phil. He can be pretty certain that Patrick's not re-raising him with ace-5.
Although, if you remember correctly, Antonius did win a huge pot with ace-4 against Phil Ivey earlier.
$100,000.
And this is a huge bet here. Phil Ivey is making a $100,000 bet. Those are $25,000 chips. The pot is $207,000, $100,000 to Antonius, and this is the exact reason Ivey rebought.
Well, that $100,000 bet is really going to confuse Patrik. He doesn't know whether he's up against an ace-king, an ace-queen. He tried to find out with the 15,000 bet.
Cool.
And look at this, Patrik Antonius is going to call.
A 5 wouldn't get him any action, but would put him in front. A 10 would be a huge river. It's a queen.
It's a queen, it changes nothing, and for once, Ivey has not gotten unlucky.
Might scare him a little, though, that queen.
Of course. Remember, right now,
They're all talking at the start of this hand. Now everyone's watching. This pot is 307,000, and it could be getting bigger.
Phil Ivey trying to think, how much can I bet here? This is an enormous pot. Phil Ivey, the master, trying to figure out exactly how to get the big call.
A decent-sized bet from Ivey, and Patrik should be able to get away from the hand. There isn't really much he can beat here.
No, you're correct there. But the pot is $300,000. What about the human side of it? Can you really let $300,000 go?
He's got to decide what he wants to bet, and is he going to pass if he gets re-raised and puts 150,000 in there?
I think he's probably going to bet about 200,000 here, maybe even more. The pot is $300,000. Phil Ivey, an absolute master.
He might even just declare all in. He's sitting with about the pot size in front of him, around the 300,000 mark.
And could Phil Ivey get even in just one hand? Absolutely phenomenal poker. And what is Patrik Antonius thinking right now, Gary? As he waits for Phil Ivey to make a bet.
He's probably trying to decide, what do I do if he bets? What do I do if he checks?
Phil Ivey, obviously really thinking this through. The wheels are turning.
He's gone back for the blacks.
Those are $25,000 each. This could really sort him out. And look at this. This is the bet. It's $225,000. Phil Ivey has just bet $225,000. This pot is over $500,000. It is actually $250,000. It's 12 black chips. The pot is $557,000. What do you do if you're Patrik Antonius?
$557,000. The only thing he can really beat now is a bluff. He knows if Phil Ivey is re-raising him on the flop, a third bet, he should have ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack, jacks full. But it's also got to be going through his mind that Phil Ivey is stuck, and he is stuck big. This could be his one chance to get out of it, to steal this pot. Is Patrik Antonius going to make the call?
Phil Ivey like a stone here. Patrik Antonius trying to figure it out. The superstar from Finland really puts the test here. $250,000 bet. If he calls this bet, Ivey will actually be ahead.
That's all it's going to cost. Just 10 black chips.
Exactly, 10.
Doesn't sound a lot. Just a little bit of plastic. But that is $250,000.
This pot is over $500,000.
Come back to play with the chips.
Not much Antonius can beat here. But can he say goodbye to that big a pot? You can just feel the tension in the room.
I call.
Cool.
He says call. This is a monster, and it is the hand that Phil Ivey has been waiting for. 807.
Patrik Antonius.
Maybe Maybach music.
Although that's a
Maybach music.
Alright, so Jason Kuhn's gonna raise. First one in. It's not a straddle pot.
I mean, tell us to this text to the table.
What's that?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Doesn't feel that true.
Guess it depends on how much you have in crypto.
Set hunting. I thought you're not.
Paul says he's set hunting with 8-6 suited. Trying to put some mind games on his opponents.
I had like 33% in my folio. Now I have less.
There are a lot of people who wanted to keep 25% of their net worth in cryptocurrency when it was $1,000 a coin. And within 6 months, it's $20,000 a coin. And now they're forced to have 90%, some percent of their net worth in it, unless they want to pay short-term capital gains tax. So they got to hold on to it for years. So if that's the case for you, it's a lot more gamble in crypto than there is in poker.
Yeah.
Kuhn flops a straight flush draw.
Short deck. 6-9 is a straight.
Looking for the 9 of clubs or the the 9 of hearts or the 4 of hearts right now. Love to see a straight flush in our big cash game. But Tom Dwan's got the best hand. He's gonna bet top pair 10 kicker. Elton, he's got bottom pair of a nut flush draw right now. He's actually going to make the call, or is he check raising? He's going to make the call with bottom pair. He's very suspicious of Tom. They've got a lot of history, but Jason Kuhn actually might check raise here. He can put a lot of pressure on these type of hands. Yeah, he's going to raise to 100,000. I mean, he's stuck about 800,000 euros, so I can see why he wants to raise and just put a lot of pressure. I wonder if Tom Dwan can read into this and maybe call a flop check raise and kind of see what happens on the turn. But I think he's going to let it go. The way he's grabbing his cards. Actually, no, he might call. Tom's thinking about what happened previously. Kuhn bluffed off a lot of his chips. Would Kuhn actually try and bluff off more chips?
What happened this hand? What happened on the flop?
So he's going to let it go. And Elton probably got a fold bottom pair.
Not cash.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
240.
Maybe Elton's going to call here. With just bottom pair. No, he re-raises to 324,000. This is a weird play.
I'll turn it off.
It might be like a little bit.
I mean, don't say anything.
Wow. Jason Kuhn, though, I mean, he has a very good hand. Just 6 high, but he's just got 55% chance to win. I think he's just going to call and see what happens on the turn. He doesn't think Elton will ever fold to a shove. He actually would. So here comes the turn. Elton trying to decide what Kuhn has. Turn is a queen. Elton has the nut flush draw of his pair of 7s. 736,000 in here. Now, Elton was pretty much giving up, but on this card, he actually might shove. Elton's trying to represent a set or two, like ace-8 or ace-7 right now.
Way late.
I'm not sure what he puts Kuhn on right now, but he knows Kuhn lost 1 million chips. They've never played before with each other, I believe, with such big stakes. I would love to see Elton ship it all in here. The way Elton played the hand, man, I really can't put him on a hand. It just seems like we called a bet, got check raised by the pre-flop raiser, and then re-raised to 300,000. So he's gonna bet. He's gonna bet a lot. He's just gonna shove them all in. Okay, he shoved in
You know this guy Mangano?
390,000.
No. I forget who.
He's got 540,000 behind.
Playing him online.
A half pot bet. Jason Koon's got so many outs, but he's only got 30% now.
Forget who was talking about that.
No, we would have.
He's Russian.
Jason Koon's got position, so he technically can call. I would never shove in Jason Koon's spot because he has no fold equity. So he should only call with position. Jason Koon already down like 800K right today. He can get all his money back in his hand, or he can lose €1,000,000, possibly more because I think they were deeper. He makes the call. There's not very many chips remaining. Elton. 1.5 million. This pot could be bigger than the last pot we just saw.
I played with him enough that I don't think he's got a soft throw. Let's just put it that way.
Rivers of 4. Jason Koon makes the nut straight.
I don't see how he could heads up game.
There's 1.5 million in there.
Oh yeah, okay. That's the way, but
I'm sure. I think it's fine. I don't think he's using any.
Jason Koon is so relieved to see the 4. Elton trying to decide if he can make a bluff.
I was like, what do you mean? Like,
Just a pair of 7s.
I was like, you know what I mean? I had the same kind of thing, but further away. What do you mean? If I lose this, I'm dead. What do you mean? Hold on.
Jason Koon just praying for Elton to shove.
it's always possible. 30 seconds.
Elton realizes Koon only has a third of the pot remaining.
Usually playing slow in cash game, right? But
It's super slow. It's not just max.
So he checks, he gives up. Jason Koon's gonna shove.
Slowest player I played.
Where's Max?
I wonder if Elton will consider a hero call.
Always making a decision in 30 seconds.
But you can do fast. Why?
If Jason Koon can have 6-5 of hearts, then that means he could have 10-9 of hearts as well, right? So technically, Elton does beat a couple hands. I guess King 10 of hearts and Jack 10 of hearts occasionally. But there's so many chips in there. 2 million in the middle. Elton trying to decide what hands he can beat. 10-9 of hearts, the most likely hand he can beat. But if he has 10-9 of hearts, his opponent can also have 6-5 of hearts, which is what he's up against. It's very few hands he actually beats here.
I wouldn't say good. I
guess
didn't even play for like
10-9 of hearts and King 10 of hearts. Jack 10 of hearts. If that's assuming they played the hand this way as well. I mean, he really wants to make a hero call, a pair of 7s, but it won't be good. Because if Jason Koon had a hand like King Queen of hearts, he'd probably just check it back because usually he's up against 2 hearts himself. So nice fold. Can't show the bluff.
Can't do it, man. There's a time. This is the time.
S6 of fast.
Jason Koon wins 789,000. He's actually up money right now. 2.1 million in there in his starting stack.
Not the other car.
He's in for 2 million.
damn, he's opening it up.